to win it. Up goes Burton and Clark. Claremont are starting to exert some authority here. Subiaco need to get a score on the board. It's 3-2 to nothing at the moment. The ball bouncing down in the Claremont full forward area again. Hutton is down there. It's knocked down by Monaghan to Cocker. Cocker back towards the half-back line, and Simons, who's been one of their few good players, takes the mark in front of Malone. Subiaco are under enormous pressure in the back line because of the fierce tackling of the Claremont forwards. That's close to the boundary line. Edwards forces it over. Not on the full, in the opinion of the boundary umpire. Throw in at left centre wing for the Tigers in front of the members' stand. But Kickett, Hutton and Miles in particular have tackled in a very fierce manner, and they've locked the ball in the Claremont forward area for long periods. Clark and Burton again. Hepburn is on the bench for Claremont, a surprise inclusion in the 20. Taken by Connell. He in turn was taken in there by McGovern, and will have a bounce down midway between right centre wing and right half forward for the Subiaco team. Claremont 3-2. Their goal scorers Guard with 2 and Evans with 1. And Subiaco are yet to score, and we're 16, nearly 17 minutes into the first quarter of the grand final. Norrish knocks it on, and it's taken by Clark, who's playing with great exuberance this afternoon. He drives towards full forward. Miles is the leaper. Cowell beaten by the bounce, taken by Snow. He in turn gets it to Golding, but he's claimed. Comes to Lee. Lee gets it on quickly to Snow. Good back up from the half-back line for the Lions. The kick out in the direction of Willett, but Edwards chips in and takes the mark. No, he's been awarded the free kick.
Scott Edwards kicks to half-back. Mark taken by Norrish. He loves a run. He's run to the members' wing. Hooks at the centre half forward. McNish has got the sit, almost the mark. Mitchell the crumbs though. He's dangerous. Around the goals. Kick across his body from 50 metres. He's put it through. They're brilliant around the forward line. Mitchell brings up his first goal of the match. And Claremont look very good in this first quarter. At the 18-minute mark now, they're 4-2-26. Subiaco yet to score. And the breeze, Barry, has not created this big break for Claremont. It's just been their great football.
Oh, yeah, they're just so good at the moment. There's Mitchell now, and that's a magnificent kick. He's kicked it on the 50-metre line. And sure, the breeze has helped there, by the way, but it still was a beautiful kick. But Subia having all the problems.
So now we just had to come away with the tries in the end.
Yeah, we heard he was a little disappointed at the break.
Dominating.
Clark beat Burton easily then. Mitchell gave it to McGovern. McGovern goes back. This is good run off the half-back line by Burton. And he goes back to Mitchell. They're cutting Subiaco to pieces in the middle of the ground. Hutton's on a lead. He's too good.
It's all starting from the middle of the ground. Like there is another example. I mean, they just won it out of the middle quite easily. And then when they goes to their half-back line, they're dominating across the half-back line. So Subi forwards really haven't had a sniff of the ball at the moment.
So John Hutton, the state's leading goal kicker for this current season, lines up from 55 metres. The breeze at his back, distance shouldn't be a problem. Just wonder what Bunton can do to stop the flow. Hutton kicks at goal. Searing drop punt.
Super.
Fantastic kick from Hutton. And Claremont are on a roll. They've kicked 5-2, that's 32. And Subiaco are yet to score. And already the Lions are in hot water.
And you'd think that Adam Clark, he might even be a little bit disappointed because he's done everything right. That's a beautiful kick there. Mitchell, this is them getting it out of the centre here. And watch Mitchell here. He doesn't waste the ball. Hutton's on a beautiful lead. And then, of course, he kicked a super goal. But this fella here, too, he's done a marvellous job. He's probably not worried at the moment with Wolf now.
Wolf is on the ground to give Clark a rest. It's pretty warm out there this afternoon. He'll appreciate the rest, but he's been a great driving force, Adam Clark. He's taken Matthew Burton on in the centre, and despite conceding the best part of a foot, I would think, in height, he's won his share of the ruck knocks. It'd be interesting at the centre bounce downs, Ken.
Yes, there's only been 3 clear knocks in the centre bounce down, and that's 2 to Clark and 1 to Burton as Malone gets another kick. He's playing well in the centre.
Guard was caught under it. White played well in that situation, knocked it to his own advantage. Horrible kick, though. It goes up towards the half-back line. Peniz is content to soccer it to the outer side of the ground. And Claremont are dominant all over the ground at the moment. They lead 5-2, 32 to Subiaco's no score. And we've played 21 minutes in the first quarter. The throw-in is taken by Malone, who gets it to Han. I don't think he intended to. Han, a driving force on the outer wing in the early stages of this game, kicks to centre half forward, but Mitchell White takes the relieving mark at the back of the pack. White inside his defensive 50-metre line. and there's not a lot happening for him. Lee is loose on a short lead. The kick doesn't have the depth it required. Wolf comes in and intercepts, drives it back to centre half forward. Hutton is in front and did well to keep Monahan out. Oh,
has to be a free kick.
He's been penalised for shepherding.
He's made a couple of terrible decisions.
No, Hutton has to be
fellow.
Yeah. Monahan clearly jumped straight into his back.
Oh, no question whatsoever.
And even if he was shepherding, the ball was well and truly within 5 metres.
Interesting one.
Fortunate let off there for Subiaco.
That was another free kick there. He's going to give it, which was a very good decision, and it should have happened at the other end of the ground.
This is Burton with the football. Goes by hand. Centre half-back Panizza with a beautiful foot pass to the middle and finds Kickett. 10 metres the attacking side of the circle. Ignores the lead of Hutton. He's going longer. He saw Miles had the sit in the pack. At the back, it's marked by Mitchell. They can do no wrong at the moment, Claremont. And this is going to be, well, a start that Gerard Neesham would have dreamt about, I believe, Barry.
Oh, well, you couldn't get a better start than this in any grand final ever. I mean, he's coming in. Mitchell could kick their 6th goal straight to 0, so it's not a bad start.
Swans kicked 10 against East Fremantle. This is a good kick from Mitchell. Splits the middle. That's his second. And really, they are cutting Subiaco to pieces. I don't know what Bunton can do here to stop the flow.
Well, you can't. That's a beautiful kick there by Kicker too. He set Milesy up here, Jeff Miles, but he's missed it, and there's Mitchell behind. He read the ball beautifully there.
Sorry, Barry, I was just going to say there's not much Hayden Bunton can do because he's got his 2 best ball getters, McNish and Dargie, in the centre anyway.
Yeah, and they're doing all right. McNish has got a few kicks and Dargie's got a few, but Claremont just overall here in the middle of the ground are just far too good.
Well, could this be a premiership winning lead this early in the first quarter? Williams in front, but spoilt by Edwards. Chance for Coyle, having trouble controlling it. Wolf comes in, makes it harder for him. He threw it away, but was tackled high before the throw occurred. Now he wants to play on, goes for distance. It's a horrible kick. Miles runs at it. That's left a hole at the back of the pack. Well done by Hutton. Comes down to Kemp, who's caught by Miles. It comes to Kickett. Kickett gets it wide to Evans, and he gets a good bounce. There's trouble for Subi. Big trouble for Subi. He hit the post, but he's going to get a kick. And now Snow wants to go on with it with Miles. Subiaco becoming a little frustrated here. I don't know what started it. Mitchell's the player in the middle of all that. He's outnumbered 3 to 1. Don't like his chances, but they're improving now because Hutton's arrived.
Claremont certainly wouldn't want to do anything silly because, I mean, they're in the box seat here and it'd be just silly for them to do anything.
Hutton's saying to Bill Monahan, look, you're playing on me.
Exactly.
Evans has got the free kick and he's going to shoot from 20 metres out. I think Miles upset someone off the ball. There goes the shot at goal. Claremont have got their 7th. Evans has got 2 of the 7. It's 7-2 to nothing. 25 minutes into the first quarter.
Actually, it might be the only way that Subi can get back into the game.
Calls a blue, Barry.
Well,
it's an old tactic.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, Claremont have
I agree with you. You've got to do something.
I don't say that you do that. All I'm just saying is that that might be the only way.
It worked for Subiaco in the 88 grand final when Rod Willett upset Peter Molesso in the first quarter and put Molesso right off his game, and Subiaco went on to cause a major upset and beat Claremont 3 years ago.
I don't think it'll happen today, though, Ken.
No, I don't think so, Barry.
Bounce favoured Wolf, who knocked it down to Evans, who found some space there in a tight situation. White got rid of it in a hurry to Dargie. Dargie had one of the first kicks of the game, but he hasn't done much since then. This is Burton with the football over the top of Connell. Gets it to McGovern. Underground to Malone, who is bowled. Then can't find the handle. Is over the football, but gets it out somehow towards McGovern. Pack develops, and Vernon will bounce it down on the members' flank. 7-2 to zip. A brilliant start by the hot favourites. One can hardly imagine you give a side like Claremont a start like this and beat them. It will have to be already an outstanding comeback if they get even back into the match. Burton runs into Connell. Kick landed with Coyle, who fisted it to half forward. Back comes Burton. Williams and Georgiades almost got mixed up there. He's given the kick away. Williams has got the kick.
Tell you what, he was a bit lucky to keep the kick.
Wasn't he ever, Barry?
A bit lucky to keep the kick.
Well, he's a player whose blood rises very quickly, Malcolm Williams. Freeman's on a lead. His meter's in the clear, and he's going to chip it to him.
He
he took a long time to think about it. Freeman was 20 metres ahead of Gilbert. I think Williams wanted to go a little bit deeper.
It's the right man to give it to, though, just the same. 10 last week, and see if he can add to that.
Kicks 10 in this game. It'll be a record. It'll beat Eric Gorman's record of 9. And he's got 1 on the board anyway.
Beautiful kick.
Gorman kicked 9 for Swan Districts. And that was back in 1963, Barry, but at least he's on the board with 1. So is Subiaco, but there's still a long way to go.
Yes, there's a long way to go, but he's the right man to get it to. And he kicks a lovely goal. Now, we just hope that this might be what Subiaco have been looking for, because they certainly haven't been able to do a great deal at the moment, because Claremont have just been far too fast, too aggressive, and too clever generally. But that might just spark them up now.
7-2 to a goal. 38 points is the margin. It might be that Bunton will have to move Bremen from full forward to get him into the game. As Wolf goes over the top of Burton. Chance for McGovern, but he went without it. Kemp showed good endeavour. Coyle has it, gets it to Simons. He was pulled off his hand pass. Chance for Williams. Subiaco get the ball inside their 50-metre line again, and Willett has the sit. He got away from Valentine. Valentine was backtracking, as was Willett. But when they realised that the ball wasn't going to go as far as they thought it would, Willett was first to recover.
And he earned the mark.
He certainly did.
He will shoot from about 40 metres out, and this could be Subiaco's second. They waited a long time for their first. He's pulled that badly. They'll have to wait a little bit longer for their second. 28 minutes gone in the first quarter of the grand final. Claremont is 7-2, Subiaco are 1-1. And this really has been a spectacular start by the Tigers. They're playing with supreme confidence as the short pass comes in from Valentine and is marked by Gilbert. He goes short and finds Edwards. Too many Claremont players unattended all up the ground. This one's hand.
3 in a row.
The ball's at half back. They're playing pretty short, and now there's no one on the mark. Subiaco really are in disarray. His hand goes for distance, but his kick is intercepted by Golding.
He lays it off to Lee. Simpson medalist of 1988 for Subiaco. Runs across the half-back line. Still he goes. Confronted by Cowell. The kick was very wide. It wasn't a positive move. There was nothing moving up ahead, so he had to go wide.
Well, so this is what I've been saying all along with Subi at times. I mean, where did he go to there? He's gone from one half-back flank to the other virtually.
Burton knocks it to the side of the pack. Lee, chance to redeem himself. Kicks it straight to hand. He was backed up there by Beresford. He's found Beresford with a hand pass. Good support. The kick to half forward. Miles up with Cocker. Cocker fists away towards the boundary. Finds that at half forward, just forward of right half forward. And Claremont into attack again on the outer side. On a magnificent day for football. Burton too tall for Miles. Chance for guard. Runs into Kemp. Got a high tackle, but he ducked into it. And that's a very lucky free kick for mine. He ducked his head.
He kicked one from this distance earlier, Trev.
He did. He's going.
Had the wind right behind him here.
For distance again. Won't reach. In the square. Hutton didn't come down with it. Off the ground by Norrish. And he's put it through. Well, if it's not Hutton, it's Norrish. If it's not Norrish, it's Mitchell. And if it's not Mitchell, it's Pickett.
Or guard.
And guard.
This is a lovely kick here, though. He's got behind it there with the wind. He's well outside the 50 metres, but this is good work here by Claremont.
Almost the mark, wasn't
yeah,
it?
but see, they're backing up. There's always somebody there backing up. And there was Jeff Miles. He would have got it anyway if Norris hadn't got it.
8-2-50 plays 1-1-7. 43 points the margin in favour of the hot premiership favourites, Clem.
31 minutes gone in this first term as Burton wins the ball down. McNish hurriedly towards centre half forward. Williams is in there. Coming in to assist was Georgiadis. He hasn't been able to get into the game. McNish beaten by the bounce. Taken well by Burton. He was caught. And as he was caught, the siren sounds. And that ends a barnstorming first quarter by Claremont. They kicked 8 goals in the first term. 8-2 to Subiaco's 1-1. And they lead by 43 points at quarter time in the grand final.
Kevin Mitchell, brilliant first quarter. We may see some of him in the highlights in a moment. 2 goals to guard, though, and singles to Hutton, Evans, Norrish, Kickett, and Mitchell, who you saw. Miles, I think, beaten by Cocker. in that first quarter. One of the few players who's down just a little. And of course, he had to travel with the Eagles to Melbourne over the weekend, so there may be some excuses for his game today. And 1 goal to Todd Breman. A magnificent kick from just outside 50 to Subiaco. Crowd has swelled to around about 15,000, maybe a shade more than that. And it's good to see the West Australian public have acknowledged this game of football between the top two sides, Claremont and Subiaco, but it's all Claremont. Barry Cable, what can Subiaco do to get back into this match in the second quarter?
Well, when you see that first quarter, I mean, that was devastating by Claremont. And when I look at some of the names, the hardest thing is trying to pick the half a dozen best players. I mean, it's very difficult. But fellas like Han and Evans, Mitchell and Guard, Kiggett, Norrish, and I suppose I've been a bit disappointing with some of the other players. But for Subi, it's very difficult to say what they can do. I really don't think they can do much about it. Claremont are just a little bit too good for them at the moment. But they certainly have to work a lot harder at the centre bounces. Burton's got to be able to try to give the initiative to Subi out of there so they can get it down into their forward line and give fellas like Todd Breman an opportunity, along with Coyle and young Williams. And if they can't do that, they're going to be in all sorts of bother, because that wind doesn't really look as though it's all that strong. And so if they can't get the ball out of the centre in this particular quarter, they're going to be in all sorts of bother come half-time.
Swan Districts kicked 10 goals against East Fremantle in the first quarter in 1984. Ken Casellas, East Fremantle never recovered from that, did they?
No, never did. And there's a lot of funny things that happen in football grand finals, but normally the side that gets away to the brilliant early start gets away and wins the game.
Okay, let's have a look at some of the Claremont highlights of the first quarter. Kick to half forward. Connell's behind. Almost a mark to Burton. He's got plenty of support. This is Mitchell, who kicks to half forward, and the mark taken by McGovern.
He thought about going, but Cocker had come across to block his path. He must be off now, and he's prepared to take Cocker on. Forced to use the left foot, and a good kick too. Great kick, and very well marked by Jeremy Guard. Flowing right to left. Han has been getting great distance with his kicks from the outer wing. That's a good kick from Guard. That is a fantastic kick. There's the first goal of the 91 grand final.
Burton, Hutton comes back to Cocker. He's tackled by Miles, close to the boundary. Keeps it in for Maguire, confronted by Mitchell. Got the hand pass away, but this is Kickett. The elusive Kickett goes defensively. Norrish is now outside 50. He'll hook to the top of the square if he finds some space. He goes back to McGovern. He kicks to the top of the square. Cocker and Hutton. It's Monahan, rather, not Cocker. Over the top. It comes down to Guard, who hooks over his shoulder. That's a miraculous kick from Guard. He's put it through. On guard, Subiaco. You'll need to be in the second quarter.
It's a good horse,
He was trained by BW, or owned by BW Allpike. Brown and pink sleeves. Ken Casellas?
Well, Claremont set the path and the example in the first quarter, and Captain Mark Hand showed the way with his 9 kicks. We've crossed down to Tanya on the boundary line to see what she's got to report at quarter time.
Jared Neesham, Claremont coach, very happy with that quarter. He said it's a good quarter that's finished. There's still 3 quarters of hard work to go. He's very pleased with the tackling and the pressure applied, which he described as sensational, and he said that's what's beating Subiaco at the moment. Hayden Button offered some words of encouragement to his side and told him that the comeback had better start now. There's 3 quarters to go.
Tanya Armstrong, Clark, clean possession, kicks to half forward, awkward bounce for the Subiaco defence. Kick it, sweeping in through half forward, hand pass towards the goal square. First back is Monahan, though. He's ahead of Hutton. He cuts in and goes right across the goal face. A sweeping hand pass finds White. He's pushed by Norrish. The kick, though, lands with Maguire, who hooks across his body. So Subiaco out of trouble momentarily. And they needed that favourable bounce out there because Claremont were there in number. 8-2 to 1-1, 43 points. The margin. No clean tap from that. Pushed away by Clark. Socket by Dargy to the middle of the ground. Panizza, bowled. Also went through Georgiades and Beresford. Kicks towards half forward. Cowell and Snow. Cowell almost the mark. Beating them pointless was Han at ground level. A great pass to the pocket. Evans used his body on Maguire, but Monahan's there to back up for Subiaco. Showed good speed along the boundary. Keeps it in play too with a pinpoint kick towards Williams. It beats Williams and Edwards and it's taken by Lee. Lee cuts inboard. He needed to show good pace there. He kicks it up to Willett. Willett's outside 50. He hooks towards the goal square, but it's all Claremont. Going back with the flight is Burton. It eludes him, bounced to the advantage of Coyle, and then bounced away from him again. Panizza's there for Claremont. He gets it towards Burton. Hunter's on the ground to push it out of bounds, but a lot of fickle bounces there.
They all favoured Subi too, didn't they? Boundary throwing it right full forward. I don't think Subiaco are going to get many more lucky breaks than they got there. Georgiadis could have got a kick. He used his body pretty well. Beresford has it now, sweeps it out to Malone. Malone on the defensive 50-metre line, kicks towards the half-back line, and Cowell is Norrish it was, is spoilt from behind by White, and the throw-in will take place at right half forward for Subiaco. Breeze still quite fresh, and favouring the end to which Subiaco are kicking in this second term. Burton with front position over Clark. It's taken by Malone, and then he lost it. Guard at ground level, and the throw-in will take place in the same position.
Subi needs something from Gary Kemp, one of their experienced players there. He hasn't had a touch of the football yet.
Surprise inclusion for mine, Gary Kemp.
Burton is 60. Clark is 26. Too strong. No, used his body illegally, the opinion of the umpire. And Matthew Burton gets the free kick. He can kick. Goes short. It's intended for Georgiadis, who knocked it on cleverly to Lee. He's surrounded, gets rid of it to Coyle. Coyle hooks down towards goal. It's offline. The bounce will be the only thing that'll save Subi, but Gilbert was there to smother it. And he gets it across the line for another behind to Subi. They move to 1-2. Claremont are 8-2. So they have a huge task in front of them for the remainder of this game, the Subiaco Lions.
Gilbert, who is in doubt with an injury, took his place in the side, and that's a well-weighted kick, knocked on cleverly by guard. Claremont's way. Simons is out there though for Subiaco. He's got 2 to beat again, and Mitchell finally takes it over the line and out of bounds.
Gee, why wouldn't guard have marked that, Barry?
Well, I think he obviously assumed that the Claremont player was behind him all on his own and was trying to get the run of the ball, but you're right. I mean, I think if you're in position to mark, you should mark it.
Georgiades did well. Breedman crashes into Beresford. No kick. Beresford goes defensively and finds the fullback Gilbert, because Breedman was 25 metres upfield. Now it's with Edwards. There's a Claremont player down. I think it is Beresford. Yep. The kick to half forward. Evans comes to meet it. Crashes through the pack. Hits his own man in Cowell.
No, he was taken around the neck first.
Yeah. Beresford is down. That was a lucky collision. Evans and Cowell and the Subiaco player got tangled up. Monahan plays dangerously.
Yes, good decision.
And he's been penalised for putting it out deliberately.
Beresford's head. Gee, that was an unnecessary one too, I thought, from Brent. Was it Bremen who took Beresford out?
Hutton's got the free kick.
This will be a good kick if he can kick this one. And he's a very capable kick, Hutton.
35 metres on the boundary. On his wrong foot, but he's brought it back beautifully. He's angled it in magnificently for his second. And he is a class act, John Hutton. And into the breeze, Claremont scored the first goal of the second quarter. 9-2 to 1-2. Here's the Beresford collision.
I think this was a little bit like the Pios pick. That was Evans. Beresford.
That was a terrible one too.
Here's Beresford. I thought there were shades of the Pickering-Pios clash with the Beresford one. He was really taken in the back in an unnecessary manner.
It's good to see that he's okay though. He looks quite okay, young Beresford.
Beresford's off and Cowell's on. Evans was the one that we saw in the replay as the kick goes towards half forward for Subiaco, taken by Georgiadis. He should goal from there, and don't Subiaco need one? That's their second. They're 2-2, Claremont at 9-2.
John Georgiades, the man that they forecast would play a major part in this match, has hardly touched the ball so far, Barry, but they needed that.
This was this is McGovern there. Young McGovern really should have marked that. He looked as though he's a little bit tentative there. But anyway, here's Georgiadis, gets around, beautiful left foot. But I felt that was let through by young McGovern then from Claremont. He could have put his body right into that ball.
Beresford's off with a cut head collision that we didn't see. I think it was Bremen, the man he tangled with. Clark. Burton favoured by the bounce. Takes possession. Had the money spent before he had it in the bank though. And Vernon comes in to bounce it down. Clark given the nod by Gerard Neesham to start on the ball today. And it's been an inspired performance so far against the big man. Although he was beaten that time, sharked by Malone. Hooks across his body. It carries Snow and Norrish. Pickett's got it. Tried to run away from Golding. That's holding the ball. Good decision. Pickett said he hand passed it. Trying to argue with the umpire. Now Kemp gets his first touch and goes laterally almost to Cocker. Cocker on the outer side of the ground. Forward of right half back for Subiaco. The kick to half forward. Coyle up. Punched away by Panizza. Into the path of Kemp. He runs away from guard. Hand passes over the top towards Georgiades. Cowell in pursuit. Georgiades hooks it infield. Clark sets and marks. Coyle arriving late. Clark a courageous mark for Claremont.
Well, Barry, I think the only thing that could cost Claremont this premiership now is if they became overconfident. And we've seen them do one or two Larry things, like guard not taking that mark earlier and trying to knock it on as Cowell's caught, and he puts it out. It'll be a throw-in in front of the scoreboard on the outer side of the ground that shows Claremont lead 9-2 to 2-2.
Yes, I agree with that. Well, that'd be the only way I feel, just watching the game in progress there, because Claremont just looked a little bit too good altogether for Subi, but it does happen. Players all of a sudden become complacent, and next minute you know the opposition are right on you.
Well, I suspect already that Claremont aren't playing with the same intensity. This is Dargy who gets it to Snow, who in turn got it further afield to McNish. It's chopped off by Panizza. His kick is not a good one. Hunter will run onto it. He's just outside 50 metres, chips it back towards Bremen. Gilbert takes him out. In comes Edwards, gets a good hand pass across the face of the ground to Ballantyne. Ballantyne kicks into the centre square and Mitchell takes the mark. He wants to go, but there's no leads. Now he's got someone loose on the members' wing, and that's Hand. What are his statistics, Ken?
3 marks. This is his 11th kick. 1 effective hand pass from Kevin Mitchell. The man who kicked to him has had 7 effective kicks so far.
Another good penetrating kick from Hand too, up towards the half-forward line, and a good mark taken by Evans. He's played well.
Beating Maguire.
Drives the ball back towards the goal square. Danger here for Subi. At the front of the pack, it's Kemp who trapped that cleverly. Gets the ball around the members' side of the ground, and now Monaghan and Kickett are involved in a fight. The ball's out of play on the full, and so it'll be a Claremont kick. Monaghan provided a very heavy shepherd on Kickett, and Kickett went back to remonstrate, and as a result,
he's fighting out of his division too.
There's a fight. Mitchell doesn't wait for anyone to break up. That could almost have been a free kick. That's Hepburn down there, who's come onto the ground.
Bit of frustration creeping in here for Subiaco, Barry.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And when you look at the scoreboard, you can understand it, I suppose. And they want to try to get themselves into the game, and it is very awkward at times.
Hepburn down to guard. Guard lost his footing. Strong tackle applied by White. I'm not sure how he would have got rid of it. Plays on with a hand pass to Golding, who's caught. Subiaco in strife now. It comes to Cocker. Back it goes to White. And now they'll get out of trouble as White kicks towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. This is Hunter. In pursuit is Burton, and Burton soccers it away and out of play.
Hunter, number 8 for Subiaco. Kicked a couple of handy goals in the preliminary final when he came on. Hayden Bunton will be hoping for the same recipe today. Burton and Clark. Burton over the top. He's just too tall. But sharked away by McGovern. Here come the Tigers again. Kickett and Golding. No mark taken. Golding the best to recover. Miles puts him out of business. Good heavy collision there. Solid and fair bump. Evans got it to guard. Back to Evans, who hooks it. Goal! He's offline.
Well, you can see that coming all the way. That Subiaco getting a little bit strong with Claremont, and you can really see it happening, and the Claremont player was going clean on it.
And I think everyone saw Miles coming except Golding.
When you're hit by Jeff Miles, you would stay hit.
Beresford is stitched and back on, and the Cowell has come off.
Monaghan, who's been in a couple of dust-ups in the match so far to put the ball back into play for the Lions. They're still in a lot of trouble in this match. That kick has found Snow. He lays it back to Monaghan. Very defensive football. He was cornered by Hepburn, who's on. Forced to change direction. Chopped off by Hutton. He's Williams, who backhanded Hutton. Which way's the kick going to go? It's going to go to Hutton. And that's interesting. I'd like to see it again. Both players were at fault. The first kick, though, was to Williams. There it is. The first kick was to Williams.
And he didn't play any of those kicks. He just played the hit in the face.
But he should have played the kick to Williams.
Well, I don't know. Personally,
Well,
I think that's debatable. I think he decided to
Williams
let the
was
game
retarded, and the kick should have gone to Williams. Hutton to shoot at goal from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. The drop punts offline to the lure of the Subiaco supporters. Williams and Hutton really tangled
here it is. We're going to have a look at this incident. There it is.
Well, Hutton was
there, I think.
high.
Yeah, it's play on, but you can make your own judgment on that one.
Lee is
There
off the
wasn't a lot in
ground,
it.
and Hutchinson is back on. Now, Hutchinson's hamstring is heavily bandaged. I think Subiaco have taken a risk with this player, and it hasn't come off as the kick goes towards the centre of the ground. It was Hunter who used his body well, but wasn't able to take the mark. Subi with a chance to get the ball out of the centre here. Coyle's kick was smothered. Comes to McGovern. Claremont are messing around a little bit. Burton tries to go under the player with a hand pass. It's taken by Mitchell. He did that well, but he's got no one to give it to. Eventually found Panizza by hand. Back infield it comes to Burton. Back to Panizza. The centre half back is up on half forward. He gets the ball inside 50 metres. Hepburn wasn't able to take it. White gets the hand pass to Golding, who's under pressure. And he's gone. He's caught. Fighting desperately. He'll give away the kick for holding the ball if he's not careful. But there again was evidence of the very ferocious Claremont forward line, who put their bodies on the line to tie it up in that full forward area. And the ball is still within goal-scoring distance. Burton is back there for Subi, reaching over the top. Guard kicking under pressure. Maguire is in front, but Evans knocks it away. Straight into a pack of Claremont players. Evans follows it up himself. He's caught, threw it away. Maguire is there, taps it down. It's taken by Mitchell. Clever footballer, taken high, but continues to play. Spears it across to the centre of the ground in Norwich. Well, they're going the long way home at the moment, Claremont, but they've maintained possession. Norwich wanted Dargy to go back further on the mark. He kicks high to centre half forward. Burton in front. Should have marked that. Comes to Hutchinson. He's caught. They're not out of the woods yet. Hepburn is in there. Not handling the ball cleanly at the moment, Hepburn, as Evans goes in and ties it up with McNish. And we'll have another bounce down at centre half forward for Subiaco. For Claremont.
He hasn't handled the ball at all, actually. I don't think Hepburn at the moment.
44 points in favour of the Tigers. Subiaco making no impression with the breeze. Hepburn knocked it to the advantage of the Tigers. Monahan dispossessed. Guard hand passes away. He was in a vice-like grip. Now it's Hutchinson. It's on behind play again too. This is Hutchinson. Snow. Sharp by Kickett. Stolen by Kickett. Goes it to Hepburn. Hepburn's shot at goal has been marked in defence by White. He's got a lead from Simons. Oh, gee. He's done that pretty well on the finish. He's running away from the lone. He kicks towards centre wing. Panizza's in front, and out there also is Edwards for Claremont. And he's marked, getting away from Williams. Put pass towards McGovern. Kemp, the late tackle.
Oh, they're getting reckless, Subiaco.
That was reckless.
Gary Kemp had another look.
50 metres, isn't he?
Yeah. Look at this.
They're too loose. Subiaco are too loose in defence. Miles charges at goal. Kicks to the top of the square. Evans and Hutton up spoiled each other, and the crumbs come down to Monahan of Subiaco. And the custodian kicks short. Burton pulls it in. The big spider web gathered that one. Where's he going to go? A lot of indecision by Subiaco. They're rattled. Williams showed that with that attempt to mark. He's regained his composure and was caught holding the ball. Didn't get rid of it quickly enough. But they're in a lot of trouble, Subiaco.
And I think he's got the umpires offside too now, Malcolm Williams. This is Mitchell through the centre. He goes again. Very little pressure applied. This is the only problem Claremont are having at the moment, is up at full forward. I think with Hepburn on the ground, they're a little disorganised back there. Although Hepburn has applied a good tackle here and chases it up hard, knocks it back cleverly. White has it, but he's in all sorts of strife. McNish gets it away to Hutchinson. It's intercepted again by Kickett. Back to Hutchinson. He's got the dash to break the pack, but the ball bounced away from him. It goes to Simons. Subiaco are making a mess of this. Now it's with Hand. He's taken high by Kemp, and Hand will get the free kick.
The fight on again.
All that twisting and turning, it just goes to prove it's getting nowhere with them, is it? Really, they're really under enormous pressure because Claremont is so direct and quick.
But they've only kicked one goal for the quarter, Claremont. We've played 17 minutes in this term. Perhaps their second will come now. Hutton is on the end of the kick from the centre of the ground as Clark comes off and Wolf goes back on. And Hutton, who has kicked two, will shoot from about 45 metres and directly in front.
But while I think the reason why they haven't scored as more goals, Clem, I think you're right earlier, I think they're just fooling around. They haven't played as direct.
Not playing with the same intensity,
No.
are they?
It's too easy for them.
They need to kick a couple of goals just to make sure the game is well out of Subiaco's reach, and I think he's missed that, or has he? It may have sneaked through, it did. Another goal for John Hutton. He's got his third. He's the leading goal scorer in the game now, and Claremont have their 10th. They're 10-4, Subia 2-2.
Yes, well, already Bill Monaghan is, here's Mark Hand. A long kick goes in and John Hutton marked as well in the clear. He's giving Bill Monaghan plenty of trouble, and Monaghan well remembers when he played in the 1988 second semi-final against Claremont. Here Hutton kicks his third goal, and in that match, in the first half, Claremont's full forward Peter Malesso kicked 9 first-half goals on Monaghan, who kept Malesso down to no goals in the second half. But Hutton, 3 goals on Monaghan already in this grand final of this year. Mark Hand continues to shine on a wing for Claremont with 12 kicks. Peter Burton on the screen there, 9 effective ruck knockouts, and he's got the charge of the ruck duels at the moment.
Burton, sharked by Malone, who kicks to half forward. Tigers into attack again. Coyle over the top of guard, fisted away. Simon's out there, beaten by Norrish. Norrish slaps it to his own side's advantage. Guard went without it. Back comes Simons. That's a boundary throw-in. And just before that, while we were watching that replay of the goal of Hutton, umpire Vernon came over and had a word with the Subiaco dugout. So what that was about, I don't know. Burton's behind Wolf. Honours were about even there. That's Golding at ground level. Burton tried to slap it on. Hasn't had a great impact on around the ground, Burton, so far in this match. This is Norrish keeping it in for Wolf. Wolf, awkward-looking kick towards the full forward area. Miles is up. Went almost uncontested. Pushed out towards Mitchell. That was from Hepburn. Socket away towards the pocket by Miles. White's there with him. And again, a lot of elementary errors being made by both sides as the ball will be thrown in about 10 metres around from the behind post. 10-4 to 2-2. 50 points the margin. A brilliant display so far by the Tigers. Burton won the tap easily that time. McNish bumped by Norrish. Evans dispossessed by Maguire. And again, it's up for grabs in the left full forward pocket. Almost 19 minutes gone in this second term. Subiaco have kicked 1 goal with the breeze. Garrett lost his composure. McNish around his body, but it's all the Tigers. And Wolf this time takes a very easy mark, goes central towards Mitchell. He's marked 55 metres out, directly in front. There's leads everywhere. He's going to go long. He's put it up towards the square. Burton from behind Hepburn, but Burton's sure hands pull down the safe relieving mark for the Lions.
Snow clears the ball around the outer side of the ground, but it will land with Malone again. He couldn't quite get to it on the full. Good Shepherd provided out there by Edwards, I think it was. And here's Mitchell unattended again. Finesses around McNish and kicks in the direction of Kickett, who's 5 metres clear of Maguire, and he's taken a comfortable mark 45 metres from goal.
You know, Subiaco look as if they've dropped a bit.
Oh,
they look awful at the moment.
Well, they have since about 5 minutes into the game, haven't they? As Dale Kickett lines up. He'll kick from about 45 metres. It's a good kick too from Kickett. No doubt whatsoever. He's got his first. Claremont second, is it? Sorry. Claremont have got their 11th. They're 11-4. Subi are 2-2.
Subiaco, a few heads hanging down, Barry.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't look too good for them.
Yeah, well, they won't want to hang it too low at the moment, because if they do, you know, Claremont's just going to run right over them. And I think that Subi can get themselves back in the game. I mean, they've got enough good players there, but they just need to realise that, you know, there's well over a half a game to go yet. So they just don't want to get too despondent at this stage, because otherwise, you know, Claremont will blow this score right away.
Guard in front of Coyle. Working hard is Golding. Kickett's got him now, but he gets it away to Williams. Wolf, the late tackler. The mark has been taken by Hunter. Inboard to Georgiades. Feigned that nicely around Hunter. Sorry, went looking for Hunter. Hand bumped as he kicked. And the relay kick up the field is very soft.
He hurt
umpire
himself.
Garrett.
He hurt himself too when he bumped hand.
He did, but I didn't think there was anything in it, Barry.
There wasn't a lot in it, no. No, it was just how the umpire saw it.
It's a little late. Nothing vicious. Miles with the free kick. sets it up for the pack. Hepburn up, Burton in front. White, almost stolen by Evans, comes back to White, who kicks square towards the boundary in a pathetic attempt to get it out of defence.
He's done that 4 times, I think, today, young Mitch White. He gets the ball, and if he's close, he normally just kicks it straight out to the boundary.
Very negative.
Very negative.
Wolf trying to use his body on Burton, but Burton held his ground pretty well there. Kickett is ferocious today. He's in there battling again on the bottom of the pack. And doing the somersault was McNish.
Trev, you don't keep statistics for a lot of the work that Dale Kickett does.
No.
Geez, he just locks the ball in there, doesn't he?
He's been terrific, I reckon, going at the ball.
Burton and Wolf. Honours again even, knocked up by hand, pushed on by Malone. Coming to meet it there was Guard. He wanted to let it go for Hutton. That allowed Subiaco in. Burton goes defensively to Golding. Very negative football, and it will come unstuck again. It is shocking football to watch. Subiaco are rattled as McGovern sizes up the options. This is a pity for the big crowd. Subiaco are disappointing at the moment. Hepburn's in front, over the top White. Crumbs to Norrish. Norrish in the left full forward pocket. He couldn't find the handle. Now he's in all sorts of bother. It squirts out from Maguire. Simons hooks it around the corner, off the turf, and luckily for him finds the safety of the boundary. 11-4 Claremont, 2-2 Subiaco, 70 plays 14. Bremen would be getting very cold at the other end of the ground.
Yes, I think you'd probably have to think about getting into the game, because he's one player that can win the ball.
23 minutes gone in the second quarter. Chance here for Hutchinson. He was brilliantly tackled. Ball spills towards Norrish, who gets it to Kickett. Wanted just a little too long. Chance for Burton to tidy up, but there's not much on offer. He had to go towards the boundary. He's tried to give his teammate a chance there in Dargy, but it was taken by Hand with Kickett again. Elusively gets it back to Hand. Hand from the boundary line. Oh, look at this kick. Another spectacular goal, this time from the Claremont captain. And they can do no wrong.
But don't take anything away from Kickett then. He was in the right position at the right time again to take the ball and then give it back to give Guard the opportunity.
12-4 to 2-2.
And you'll see it here where Burton kicks it off the... Now, Kickett's coming already over there. Hand's got it, too clever. Gives it out to Kickett, and then Kickett gives it back again. So it's really good teamwork by Claremont, and they're spot on with some of their balder skills. Hand passing and kicking and using the ball brilliantly.
Well, Burton wins the tap, but again it's Malone. He's doing a great job of sharking Burton's taps out of the middle. Golding didn't mark, and he's in trouble. Hand passes defensively. Maguire. Hutton narrowly missed him, luckily for Maguire. And he's kicked it to half-back and found Williams. Over the top for Snow. Snow from half-back for Subiaco. Kicks to half-forward. Georgiades pulls down the mark. Plays on quickly. Kicks across the ground. Coming out to meet the ball is Willett, but he's outnumbered. He's got a lot to do. Tried to slap it back in. It was short-circuited by Hand. Hand kicks up towards the members' wing, and Panizza from half-back has taken the mark on centre wing. Gives it to Guard. Guard kicks long towards the pocket. Hepburn up. Couldn't hang on, and the crumb's taken away by Mitchell White.
I'm not sure why Neesham has brought Hepburn on at this stage. There's no doubt the Claremont forward line's not functioning as well. That was a big leap from Mitchell down there. It's taken by Willett, but he was surrounded. Ballantyne with a hurried, Burton, I'm sorry, with a hurried kick, and Panizza's loose if he can keep it in play. The ball bounces back to his advantage. He looks into the centre of the ground, and Mitchell takes the mark. The only reason I can think that Neesham might have brought Hepburn on is to do the right thing by the Eagles. Wouldn't that be ironical?
I reckon they look clumsy with Hepburn up in the forward line.
Well, there's no doubt about that. They got Miles up there, Hutton up there, and Hepburn up there, and they had a forward line that had kicked 8 goals in a brilliant display in the first quarter. And he's made this change. I can't think of any other reason why he would change that forward setup.
Well, he's probably obviously using him for height and so forth, but see, the fact that Hepburn's not hit, well, here's another chance here.
And he's got it this time. But I honestly think he's probably doing the right thing by the Eagles.
This might be the reason.
This
might be the reason why now.
So here he is, Mark Hepburn, the centre of a raging controversy for the last month. Has the opportunity of his first kicked goal in a match for some time, and I think he's kicked through it.
There you go. Now that's why he's put him there.
Exactly. Claremont have kicked 13-4. Subi have kicked 2-2. We're now 27 minutes into the second quarter, and I hate to say it, but I really do think this grand final is all but won.
Yes. Very disappointing display by Subiaco. Hepburn making no mistake. And they've just absolutely torn them to pieces, as they have done for the last 2 years, though. So it's no great surprise to Claremont supporters. A little bit of volleyball in the middle. Kemp finally got a hand on it. Taken away by Hutchinson. Subiaco going to attack. Gilbert going back with a flight. Awkward bounce. It bounces towards the pocket, then bounces through from behind. And I suppose that's a little bit of luck for Subiaco, but they need a lot more, as that board indicates. Gilbert, well-weighted kick, finds Malone, who's gathered a lot of kicks, Ken, and he sharked a lot out of the middle of the ground.
3 marks, 11 kicks and 5 effective hand passes.
Gilbert just floating down. They're doing almost what they like, Claremont.
Messing around.
Well, he's gone square for Ballantyne. The weight of numbers, they should get out of trouble. That's a silly hand pass by Malone. It's allowed Williams in, but Peniza's got pace.
That's how confident they are, though, at the moment. Gee, they can just do anything.
And they've broken away again here at centre wing through Evans. Coyle bearing down. He eludes Coyle and Kemp. It was well done by Evans. Class player. Wolf, guard, over the top. He drew the player in Golding. Now Pickett has a shot from 45, but he's offline. And, almost would have been the sealer before half-time.
It was good play, though, just the same.
It was brilliantly done.
They run on, they're very skillful. And even though they're well and truly on top, it's still a good display for the people that are here, because you're seeing Claremont at their very best.
That's a
margin.
margin.
See 2 sides in it, though, Barry.
Margin of 68 points. This is shades of a South Australian grand final of a couple of years ago, when North Adelaide kicked only 1 goal for the entire grand final. As Hutton gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell wanted to give it to a teammate. He's done that eventually, and Hepburn gets his second. Well, that was very unselfish.
Touched.
By who?
Well on play.
That's interesting.
Oh, here we go. There's the replay. Gee whiz.
Doubt that.
I think he
Didn't look like it,
might
did
have
it on
been
the replay.
might have been touched by the umpire.
Yeah.
Touch and go.
Anyway, it's not going to make any difference to the result of this game, I don't think, as Monaghan kicks to the outer side of the ground. McGovern at ground level will drive this back towards the square. Hepburn is back there with Monaghan. Hutton from the side went too early, and that was something of a decoy, I suspect, because it allowed Hepburn to take the mark on his chest, and we saw them do that down the other end of the ground when Miles went very early and Mitchell took the mark. Now, Hepburn is being brought around on a more acute angle, but he's not far out from goal, as you can see.
And a natural left footer, piece of cake for him.
Spoken like a true Claremont supporter.
No cream on the cake.
13-7 to 2-3 is the score here at Subiaco Oval, and I just hope that Claremont don't let their game fall away, because it really will become a lacklustre affair if they let their standard drop.
As soon as you give them a rap, Ken, the players, they definitely let you down.
It was a rock cake, Ken.
Yes, well, Barry Cable was one of the best left-footed footballers I've ever seen play the game, and he wouldn't have missed that one.
I wouldn't have let you down from there.
He's not out there, unfortunately, for Subiaco. They'd like to have about 6 cables and a bit more wiring. Monaghan puts it into play as the siren sounds to end the first half of a lopsided grand final. And who would have believed that it would be this lopsided? Claremont 13-7, 85. Subi 2-3, 15. The goal scorers for the Tigers, Hutton 3 and 2 apiece to Evans, Kickett and Guard. And singles to Norrish, Mitchell, Hepburn and Hand. It's been a polished exhibition. He's been the architect of the forward line. Tony Evans has been dazzling at times, done some brilliant things, and really it has been a polished exhibition by a class football team, and they've completely outpointed the Lions in every aspect of the Australian game. Hutton has been strong at full forward, well backed up by Guard, who kicked 2 magnificent goals early in the match.